Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out to today's broadcast here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Also a simulcast with our friends from Bengals All Access here on the Region 23 tournament. I'm Adam Gore, and you're getting set for the first game of the Region 23 tournament between Etowah Community College and Meridian Community College. We're going over the starting lineups here before the start of the game, and we'll give those to you in between innings throughout the day as well. We do want to welcome everyone watching on Let'sGoICCTV.com. A big tournament here. ICC returning back to the Region 23 tournament for the first time in 6 seasons. 2012 is when you'll have to go back to the last time the Indians made the Region tournament. Ironically enough, it was right here in Eunice, Louisiana. Let's take you to the field momentarily for the national anthem here at Eunice.
We ask all fans, coaches, and players to show respect for the opposing team, road officials, and each other before, during, and after today's game. First and throwing out and participating in any other acts of conflict with good sportsmanship, safety, and fair play are subject to objection and prosecution. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated.
And welcome back. We're not quite ready for that national anthem yet. Some of the grounds crew still getting a little bit of the stadium set here as we're just moments away from that Renaissance Bank opening pitch. Let's go back to the field.
It's an honor to have the playing the national anthem.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those two guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're just moments away from that Renaissance Bank opening pitch here between ICC and number 14 Meridian. Is the first game of the actually the NJCAA Region 23 tournament. As we said, the first time the Indians have been back since 2012, and a bit of irony to that. The assistant coach for the Indians, Dylan Ernest, was a pitcher on that team for ICC back whenever the Tri-Blast came to the region tournament here at Louisiana, LSU Eunice. As we're just moments away from getting that Renaissance Bank opening pitch started here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Also want to say a special hello to those that are watching on Bengals All Access this week here, as they are barring our audio, so I do apologize if I mess up any names or anything throughout the afternoon for those there. We'll take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups, and let's start with the Indians. Leading things off will be the second baseman, Kyle Krieger. Jackson Lancaster will be batting second. He's playing in center field. Catching, batting third, will be Hunter Neighbors. The left fielder, LeBryant Sedale, will be batting fourth. Batting fifth will be Justin Medlin. He'll be playing first base. Drake Wallace will be the right fielder. And then Connor Lewis will be playing shortstop. Drew Thomas will be the DH, and Russell Bunch will be batting ninth. And the lineup for the Indians. So it'll be Kyle Krieger to start things off here. Hunter Stanley, the ace for Meridian, will be getting the start on the hill. We'll take a look at some Sonic stats on Hunter here in a moment as we await the Renaissance Bank opening pitch here between ICC and Meridian. So this is Kyle Krieger, the second baseman, to start things off here for the Indians. The Renaissance Bank opening pitch is fouled back for strike one, and it comes your way at 11:59. So we got an early start here in Eunice. 11:59 is your Renaissance Bank opening pitch. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com. So 0-1 is the count here to Kyle Krieger, as Stanley delivers the pitch. Outside, missing low for a ball. We do want to thank Travis Webb and all the fine folks here at LSU Eunice for helping us get set up and get everything rolling here for today's broadcast. Absolute beautiful day for baseball, as there's going to be a ground ball. Hopper to the second baseman. Throw over is going to be in time for the putout. So for those of you scoring at home, that is a 4-3 putout of the second baseman, Kyle Krieger, for the first out of the day. And now that's going to bring up Jackson Lancaster, the center fielder. Well, I told you we're going to take a look at the stats for Hunter Stanley. Of course, these stats being brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton, as Stanley getting set to face Jackson Lancaster here. That pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Hunter Stanley 9-1 in the year with 2 saves. He's pitched 60 2/3 inning. He's given up 58 hits, 33 runs, 30 of those earned. He's walked 13, struck out 91, has an ERA of 4.45, and that fastball across for strike 2. And Lancaster now finds himself in the hole at 0-2 with 1 out and nobody on. And that pitch up high. 1-2 now is the count on Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster, one of the 22 freshmen on this team for ICC, so Indians will be returning a lot of talent next season and getting some valuable experience in this year's region tournament. That pitch inside for ball 2. 2-2 now goes the count. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats on Jackson Lancaster. Batting .361 on the year. He's got an on-base percentage of .437 and a slugging percentage of .431. He does have 44 hits, 7 of those going for doubles and 1 triple. Swung on and missed for strike 3, a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout for out number 2. And now the Indians will look at Hunter Neighbors coming up to bat to try to keep this inning alive. Well, you can hear the wind gusting over the Nat Sound mic across the way. And we lost some of our equipment to that wind blowing away, so we'll try to scoop that up here in a moment. As that pitch in the dirt for a ball. So 1-0 is the count here. So that pitch across for a strike. And I was just about to text Lee to tell him the TV bag fell, but there he is, Johnny on the spot to be able to get that for me. As the wind, it's not blowing hard, it's blowing just enough to just blow our papers around up here. Kind of a breezy afternoon. 2-1 is the count here. And this is going to be a fly ball. Right fielder is going to give chase over in foul territory. It will drop without any harm. And now the count goes 2-2. So yeah, having to get creative to be able to hold these papers down up here. And there's going to be a ground ball that's going to get through a base hit there for Hunter Neighbors. A big-time clutch 2-out hit. Let's take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Came right back up the middle, diving shortstop. Couldn't get to it, and a nice 2-out hit there for Hunter Neighbors. So with 2 outs in the inning now, this is going to bring up LeBryant Sedale. Sedale playing in left field. Trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. Toss over to first, not in time, of Hunter Neighbors. Hunter's not really a threat to steal, being a catcher, but they do want to make sure they keep him close. Breaking pitch, finds that outside corner for a strike. Dimensions here, the ballpark looks a lot bigger than it actually is. It's 320 down the lines, 385 dead center, so you got to think probably about 365 to the gaps here at Bengal Stadium. As LeBryant tried to find a deepest part of the ballpark there, swung on and missed. And 0-2 now is the count here on Sedale. So 1 out. Runner over at first, that's Hunter Neighbors, the catcher for the Indians, or excuse me, 2 outs. 0-2 is the count. Sedale going to have to battle here and keep the at-bat alive and protect the dish. Fouls this one off. Nice job doing so there by Sedale. And the count will stay 0-2. Justin Medlin, the first baseman, is on deck for the Indians. Hoping to see him get an at-bat in this first inning. So awaiting the 0-2 pitch. Stanley on the hill, taking his time. That pitch, not a bad spot to miss on an 0-2 count. That one missing low and outside. Couldn't get Sedale to chase that one. 1-2 now goes the count with 2 outs. We're in the top of the first inning. LeBryant Sedale at the plate. Hunter Neighbors over at first base. Snap throw over to first, not in time. As Neighbors gets back standing up. Pretty good crowd for ICC out making the ball game. Got a couple of tents down set up to our right, and seating in the shade is a premium. High pop-up on the infield, and it's going to be the center fielder. Actually, it drifted a little bit further back than I thought it was going to do, but the center fielder comes in and makes the play. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees and the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked #1 in America's community and junior college systems. #1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless here between Meridian and ICC in the first game of the Region 23 tournament. If you would like to watch all the games of the Region 23 tournament, I encourage you to visit the LSU Eunice Athletic website. They have the Tournament Central there, and it's Bengals All Access. I believe you can get an All Access pass to every game of the tournament for about $15, if not $5 for each individual game that you want to watch there. Of course, all of the games for ICC will be available right here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. So it'll be Milton Smith leading things off here for Meridian. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. It's Houston Harding on the hill here for the Indians. We'll take a look at some Sonic stats on Houston in a moment, as that pitch missing low and in the dirt for a ball. Let's take a look at those Sonic stats. Houston 8-3 on the year, 71 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 80 hits, 43 runs, 36 of those earned, 27 walks, 86 strikeouts as that pitch fouled back and out of play. He has an ERA of 4.54 on the season. Well, the wind is gusting. It's blowing out of left field, so if anything hit up in the air and deep to left, could be some trouble today, as that pitch missing low and inside. 2-2 now goes the count here on the center fielder, Milton Smith. It'll be Milton Smith, Trace Jordan, and Davis Bradshaw due up here. And that pitch missing on the outside corner. 3-2. Good eye that time by Milton Smith. We do want to say a special hello to those that might be watching in support of Meridian this afternoon. 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on, miss. No, actually, fouled it off. And so we'll stay at 3-2. Got just enough of it to deflect it back away from Hunter Neighbors. And so we'll stay at 3-2 now here on Milton Smith.
Right here, buddy. Bring him up right here.
So the pitch coming. And it's going to walk him. Oh, looked pretty good, but a low pitch that time. And the umpire did not waste any time calling that ball 4. So Smith will get the leadoff walk to start things here for Meridian in the bottom of the first. This game's scheduled for 9 innings. This is the first game of the day. I believe the next game is Pearl River and Gulf Coast. As that pitch in the dirt, ball gets away, and the runner will head to second without a throw. So he'll advance on the pass ball there, as that pitch just jumped out of the hands of Houston Harding a little too late that time. And so now a runner in scoring position here early on for Meridian. Now I'll say this now, Meridian is probably swinging some of the hottest bats in the MACJC right now. They put up numbers, and they could put up some video game-like numbers as well. Look, the runner back to second. This is Trace Jordan. He's playing in left field. And Smith at second. That pitch up high for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. So a little bit of a struggle for Houston Harding starting the contest. And I'll say this is probably the first time that he has pitched in weather like this. Degrees expected to get into the mid-90s this afternoon. Is that pitch missing low? Snap throw down to second, almost in time. As that was a good pickoff move that time from Hunter Neighbors. Of course, Hunter will be taking his talents to Ole Miss next season. 2-1 is the count here to Trace Jordan. Runner at second with no outs. And that pitch missing, so Harding struggling early to find the zone. 3-1 is the count. Runner at second with no outs. Bottom of the first, we're scoreless. And there's back-to-back walks now, so we'll see if Coach Collier might make his way out to say something to Harding here early on, as he fell behind early. Looks like he's going to stick with his freshman here. And now this is going to bring up Davis Bradshaw. Bradshaw, man, he has been red hot all season, nearly batting 500 on the year. And a RBI opportunity here. Runner goes. Throw down to third is not in time. A double steal is successful. And now a pair of runners in scoring position. And that's what Meridian does. When they get you on the ropes, boy, they keep pounding on you and try to force you in some tough situations. The double steal successful. Milton Smith moves over to third. Trace Jordan to second. Now a base hit would be huge here for Meridian early on. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. 0-1 is the count to Davis Bradshaw. So right now, if you're Harding, you just want to find your rhythm. See what pitches are working for you early on. There's a ground ball. Second baseman gloves it. Only one throw, and that's over to first, and it's in time. 4-3 on the putout of Bradshaw, but an effective at bat that time by Bradshaw, as he does get the RBI as Milton Smith scores. And it was Trace Jordan advancing to third, so a good job that time by Bradshaw hitting the ball to the right side of the field to get the run in and the runner to advance. So with one out now, this is going to be Sam McWilliams coming to the plate. And that ball in the dirt blocked up nicely by Hunter Neighbors. One out in the inning, the right fielder McWilliams at the plate. There is a runner at third in Meridian, already leading this contest 1-0, trying to put a cricket letter on the board. Ground ball, second baseman gets it and is going to toss it over for the second out, but once again, a nice job hitting the ball to the right side of the field. Back-to-back RBI ground outs to second, as that scores Trace Jordan from third, and Meridian takes a 2-0 lead quickly. And now the Indians trying to find the exit, as this is going to be the first baseman, Blake Morris, batting fifth in the lineup with nobody on and two outs. And a nice little change of pace that time by Harding to get Morris to half-heartedly swing at that one. 0-1 is the count. That ball in the dirt. 1-1 now goes the count here to Morris. So a pair of walks coming back to haunt the Indians. It was a walk to Milton Smith. He advanced on a pass ball. And then a walk to Trace Jordan, a double steal as that pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. But a double steal put him in scoring position. Davis Bradshaw ground out to second. Sam McWilliams ground out to second. And 2-0 now is your score. That pitch inside, just missing for a ball. 2-2 now is the count here on Blake Morris. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. That pitch inside, nearly hitting Morris that time. And now Houston Harding, also known as Hootie in case you hear some of the fans calling out that name. Houston Harding behind the count, 3-2. 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning. Just what the Indians needed to get out of the inning with minimum damage done. But 2 runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 1 here in the first game of the Region 23 tournament between ICC and Meridian. Meridian leads it 2-0. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount. Choose the account to deposit into. Click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message. Surrender to the toppings. Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6. Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the top of the second inning now. It's Meridian with a 2-0 lead over the Indians here in the first game of the NJCAA Region 23 tournament. ICC and Meridian started this thing off a couple of minutes before noon. Is scheduled for that Renaissance Bank opening pitch. For ICC, it'll be Justin Medlin, Drake Wallace, and Connor Lewis due up here. As Medlin will start things off and takes that pitch for a strike. I tell you what, Hunter Stanley doing a great job early on here for Meridian as he is just filling up the strike zone and doing a great job of getting ahead of these ICC batters in the count. That pitch missing outside. Couldn't get Medlin to chase one. Not a bad spot to toss at that time considering he just got that outside corner. Just raised it up a little bit more out of the zone. So 1-1 is the count now. No outs as Medlin is starting the inning off here for the Indians. Swung on and missed. Boy, a big time swing there from Medlin as he was thinking about parking that one. Just couldn't quite catch up on it. And now the count goes 1-2. So winning the pitch here, the 1-2 offering from Stanley. And gets him with a high fastball. Swung on and missed for strike 3. That is the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Hunter Stanley. And the leadoff batter is out for the Indians. And now this is going to bring up the right fielder, Drake Wallace. Drake, a multi-sport star here for ICC, played football, was a member of the Co-North Division champions. And he swung on one that time. It was in the dirt. Just not a good-looking pitch to swing on there. So the Indians trying to be aggressive early on with Stanley, filling up the strike zone successfully. That time a good pitch by Stanley, a breaking ball in the dirt for strike 1. Wallace out of Amory, Mississippi. Thought about going on that one. They're going to appeal down to first. They said he did not go. And now the count goes 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Nobody on here for the Indians in the top of the second. Wallace fouls that one back, and it knocks the face mask off of the catcher. So the home plate umpire is going to go out and just give the catcher a chance to kind of shake the cobwebs out. And a good shine of sportsmanship there by Drake Wallace as he Goes back and gets the ball, checks on the catcher, just with a little tap on the shoulder, and catcher kind of nodded his head to say he's good to go. So 1-2 now is the count. And that's going to be a ground ball, and it's going to be bobbled around. And that's going to be, let's see if they're going to rule that a hit or an error. As that was a tough play over at third. You take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. And they're going to call it a hit. So it'll go for a hit for Drake Wallace. Second hit of the game here for the Indians. And so now this is going to bring up Connor Lewis, the shortstop. Connor playing in some of his last baseball games here in the Region 23 tournament, as he is going to serve our country after his time is done here at ICC, and we salute that move by Connor Lewis and wish him the best of luck going forward. So he takes a look at that pitch, low and outside for a ball. So there is a runner at first. That's Drake Wallace. So he reached on a single to third base. It's a good thing about not hosting the tournament like we did last week. We don't have to be the official scorers on tough plays like that. Runner goes. His little hit and run action up the middle. There's 1 and 2. Boy, that was just a tailor-made double play as the ball was hit directly to second base. And that's going to do it there. Boy, what a tough break for the Indians. They had the hit and run on. The ball was right up the middle. Hit to second base. Matter of fact, he caught the ball with his foot on the bag. And that was a Little Caesars double play to end the inning. So the Indians get no runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's take a break and let's hear from Little Caesars. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
So you took Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price, and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
Added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. Added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor guy. Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Got a large Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza. Hey, my name is Aaron, and I'm in Asia Pacific University right now, which is in Beppu, Japan. Now, I never would have got here if I wasn't from ICC, which is the gateway to the world.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the second inning. Meridian leads the contest by the score of 2-0 after a pair of walks and a pair of RBI ground outs to second in the bottom of the first. And so it'll be Carter, Hughes, and Parker due up here for Meridian. As that pitch paints that outside corner for a strike. This is Houston Harding on the hill here for the Indians. Hootie trying to find his groove here in the bottom of the second. Struggled a little bit to start the contest, as this is going to be a deep fly ball right field. Drake Wallace going back and a couple of steps shy of the warning track, and that's going to go for out number 1 out there in right field. So a solid hit, just couldn't quite get enough of it. We talked about the ball is blowing out of the ballpark, mainly to left field. So if you hit one like that to left field, you can see one. Maybe get a little assistance to get out of the ballpark. The flags aren't flapping out there in left field, but I'll say this, those are some pretty big flags, so it's going to take some pretty strong winds to move those. As a check swing for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. This is C.J. Hughes, the shortstop, at the plate. And he's going to go on that one. He's going to call it strike 2. So C.J. could not hold off on 2 pitches on that outside corner. And for the first time today, Hunter Hughes finds himself up in the count, 0-2. So Hootie getting set to deliver the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be on that outside corner and high for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. We're in Eunice, Louisiana. For those that may not be familiar with this part of the world, near Lafayette. For us, it was about a, 30, 40-minute drive from Lafayette to the ballpark. As that pitch inside missing for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. Last time the Indians were in the region tournament, it was 2012, and it was right here at LSU Eunice. Eunice was the #1 team in the country at the time. And guess what? They're the #1 team in the country again this year. That pitch across for strike 3. So a nice Renaissance Bank strikeout. You take a look at it right there on the Little Caesars instant replay. And now it's 2 outs in the inning. And this is going to be Houston Parker, the catcher, coming to the plate here for Meridian. So ICC trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here. See if they can get the bats back. As you see that one fouled right back into your living room for strike 1. But a good crowd starting to make their way out to the ballpark. Gulf Coast, Pearl River up next. Don Hammock just passing through. And that one's going to be up. They're going to ask if he went. They said he did not. Good call over there by the first base umpire, as he was able to check his swing. 1-1 now. Goes the count here to Houston Parker, the catcher. That pitch across for a strike. Steve Diffie checking in as well. The SID, well, actually the do-it-all at Holmes Community College. And this is going to be a foul ball. And we go to 1-2 now is the count. So we appreciate Steve and everybody tuning in here to Let'sGoICCTV.com. Here for the first game of the Region 23 tournament. 1-2 pitch coming. Missing low. Good pitch that time. And umpire, and I agree, it did go low, as the count now goes 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Swung on and just got enough of it, as the ball just ticked off the glove of Hunter Neighbors, or that would have been strike 3 to end the inning. So a nice at bat going right now by Houston Parker, trying to extend this inning here with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, that's the hootie we all know, as back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts by Harding ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down goes Meridian there. We've played 2-0 is the score. Let's hear from Renaissance Bank as we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus. What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to move to the top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 is your score. Oh, that breeze feels so good out here in Eunice, Louisiana. The absolute beautiful ballpark. The grounds crew, everyone here at LSU Eunice has got this tournament set up to a top-notch level. And we do appreciate all the friendly hospitality from our friends here at Eunice. So for ICC, it'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up. It'll be Drew Thomas, Russell Bunch, and then back to the top of the lineup in Kyle Krieger. So the Indians, they've got 2 hits. They just have nothing to show for it after a fly ball out to right field into the 1st, then a Little Caesars double play into the 2nd. So the Indians trying to string together some hits here and see if they can chip into this 2-0 lead in favor of Meridian here in the top of the 3rd. So Stanley's still on the hill. He's going to be greeted by Drew Thomas. As that pitch just missing for a ball. Good looking pitch that time out of the hand of Stanley. Home plate umpire thought it was a little too low for his liking. 1-0 now is the count. There's a foul ball right back here towards the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Of course, if you would like to learn more about Itawamba Community College and the foundation, visit iccms.edu. So Stanley got the ball back quickly, set to deliver now. There's a grounder, second baseman, gloves it cleanly, throws over in time, 4-3 for the putout of Drew Thomas for the first out of the inning. So for the third straight inning, the Indians have failed to get the leadoff runner on bat here, or I should say on base here, and now this is going to be Russell Bunch, the third baseman. So Bunch will dig in. Now Russell's got some family in the area here in the Eunice and Lafayette area, so he might have a little bit of a cheering section this afternoon as this pitch fouled back for strike one. Now Russell almost got MAC-JC Player of the Week, was a vote shy of that honor. Had an impressive week for the Indians in that best-of-3 series against East Central that got the Indians here to the region tournament. That pitch outside for a ball, 1-1 now goes the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the third, 2-0. Meridian with the lead here over Itawamba. And this pitch lifted. Right fielder's got a lot of room to run. He can't find it, but now he does. And squeezes it. Well, he threw his arms up as if he couldn't see it, and he is looking back towards the sun. And he was able to find that at the last second to be able to squeeze it for out number 2. So a break for Meridian. Now, if you're watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, wondering why I refer to ICC as Itawamba from time to time, that's because we're doing a simulcast with our friends here from LSU Eunice. They're using our audio for their broadcast on the Bengals All Access. So they may not know us as ICC. It's this pitch missing low for a ball. And once again, if you are looking to watch other than the ICC games, you can go to the LSU Eunice athletic page, find the Bengals All Access section, and you can pay-per-view the tournament there through LSU Eunice. As this is going to be a foul ball back off the netting. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Indians. We're in the top of the third, and we're back to the top of the lineup here in Kyle Krieger. Krieger grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Pops this one back. It's over the netting and out of play, and 1-2 now goes the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Krieger trying to extend the inning. Stanley trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning, much like the Indians did in the bottom of the second. Ground ball, high chopper is trouble here. Shortstop's going to have to hurry. Bear hands it, but decides to hold on to it that time, and a smart play by the shortstop, as that was just a high hopper that went for an infield base hit. And that is going to be the 3rd hit of the game there for the Indians. And now that's going to bring up Jackson Lancaster, trying to extend the inning here with 2 outs. So Lancaster, who struck out in his previous at-bat, has a runner at first in Kyle Krieger. Krieger takes a healthy lead, but slides back safely on the toss over to first. And another throw over to first, making sure Krieger stays close to home. And another time. 3rd time is not a charm there for Stanley, is making sure Krieger is hemmed in pretty tight over there at first base. So Jackson Lancaster awaiting the pitch. Here it comes, and that pitch missing low for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. 2 outs. A runner at first. That was after an infield single by Kyle Krieger. Ball just took a high hop. Shortstop did everything he could to get to it. The speedy Krieger was able to run that one out and get down to first to extend the inning. And Jackson Lancaster looking to do the same here. Lancaster, whoa, took a healthy chop there. Came up empty. 1-1 now is the count. Well, you can hear the wind picking up here. The flags are blowing out there in left field. An absolute beautiful day for baseball. Could be a little bit cooler, but this time of year, who could complain? Snap throw over to first, not in time. 1-1 now is the count. 2 outs. Indians trying to spark a 2-out rally. That pitch missing low. 2-1 now goes the count. We got a couple of guys scouting the game here. Don't know if it might be someone from Udis or maybe Hines or some area coaches, as there is a ton of talent at this contest as this pitch popped up and it's going to get out of play. Not only this contest, but also the entire tournament. As we said, Meridian ranked number 14 in the nation. Then Eunice, number 1. And I think that's it. I can't remember if Gulf Coast moved up in the rankings or not. ICC was a couple of points away from creeping into the top 20. Runner goes, little hit and run action, and it gets past the diving first baseman. A big-time clutch hit there for the Indians. And now ICC with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Back-to-back 2-out singles. And now up is going to be Hunter Neighbors. Neighbors had a single in his previous at-bat. See there, nice effort over there by the first baseman. Just couldn't find it. The hit and run executed to perfection. And now Hunter Neighbors, boy, oh boy, could really do something for the Indians here if they can find a way to get a base hit. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Krieger at third, Lancaster at second, and ICC trailing 2-0. Neighbors looks at the curveball, outside for a ball. Well, early in the contest, Hunter Stanley was dealing nicely. He was getting quickly ahead in the count throughout the day, but now has kind of struggled as we're in the top of the third. Got 2 quick outs, but then back-to-back singles by the Indians. Snap throw to first. Not in time as the ball got away. So the Indians looking for a 2-out base hit. Well, if you joined us on Let's Go ICC TV last week for the region and state softball tournaments, you saw 2-out hits were crucial in the team's successes in both of those tournaments. That pitch missing low and outside for ball 2. And so that will be the same case here in this tournament as well. Who can find the clutch 2-out hits? The Indians looking for one right here out of Hunter Neighbors. He's 1 for 1 of the day with a single. So 2-0 is the count here to Neighbors. And they're going to look the runners back. And we'll stay at 2-0. Well, for those that are not familiar with Eunice, we were talking about a little bit earlier, is this pitch an up high for a ball. 3-0 now is the count. From Fulton to Eunice is about 7 hours, maybe a little bit more, depending how heavy your foot is. But it took us just about 7 hours, including a pit stop and a couple of times on the way down here. So the 3-0 pitch to Neighbors. And that's missing for ball 4, and now bases are full of Indians for LeBryant Siddell. Well, if you're Meridian, I don't know if that wasn't a bad walk there, because you're looking at one of the hottest bats in the Indians lineup in Hunter Neighbors, and you just give him that free pass over to first. And now the infield's going to come in and talk things over here. And with that, we'll take a break and be back with more after this word from Sonic here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus. What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
And welcome back. Able to get in a bonus commercial there with the fine folks of the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Buddy Long and Company proud to sponsor ICC Athletics here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. 2 outs, bases loaded here for the Indians, and LeBryant Siddell at the plate. Siddell flew out to center in his first at bat, and that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. That's 5 straight pitches missing the strike zone from Hunter Stanley. So Stanley struggling a little bit here as the heat of the day starting to wear on here at the ballpark. Now Siddell can hit for some power, and boy, if he can get something to left field, it might be able to travel a little while. As that pitch on the inside corner for a strike, a lethargic strike called that time by the home plate umpire. And now the count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. A big time opportunity here for the Indians as they trail 2-0. Awaiting the 1-1 offering. That pitch in the dirt, 2-1 now goes the count. Well, we saw Houston Harding struggle in the first. That resulted in 2 runs, and now the Indians hoping they can answer here in the top of the third. So 2-1 is the count here to LeBryant Sedale. Pitch coming. Sedale looks at that pitch up high, and now 3-1 is the count. So Stanley starting to labor here. Indians will take it either way. Base hit. Ball 4 will score a run. 3-1 is the count. So you imagine Sedale taking the whole way on this pitch. And he does, and that's a cross for strike 2. Good location that time by Hunter Stanley. Even if Sedale does make contact, it's low enough, probably would have been a ground ball. So now the count goes 3-2. Who's going to find a way to win the battle? Can Meridian get out of this jam here in the top of the third with bases loaded, 2 outs? As Stanley's going to step off the rubber and reassess himself here. Bases loaded for ICC. There is 2 outs here. In the top of the third, they trail 2-0 to Meridian. LeBryant Sedale at the plate. Awaiting the pitch from Stanley. On his way, and Sedale fouls this one back and will stay at 3-2. Good job that time by Sedale to find a piece of that pitch to foul it back and keep the at-bat alive here. Well, you know the runners are going to be in motion, so if anything down to the outfield, we could have a tie contest because that is Jackson Lancaster at second. He's got pretty good speed over there in the top of your screen. 3-2 pitch. This one fouled back, out of play, and we'll stay at 3-2 once again. Well, a good job by the Indians. They're getting deep into the pitch count of Stanley here in the top of the third as that pitch fouled back, so the runners will return. Just got to find a way to win this at bat if you're Sedale. So 3-2. And there's a grounder up the middle. Second baseman can't get to it. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score, and the Indians have tied the contest. So a big time hit there for LeBryant Sedale. I do apologize as the individual with the umbrella got excited and kind of blocked those off there. But the Indians do score 2 to tie the ball game. 2-2 now. Runners on first and second. And so now the Indians trying to keep the rally going here. Swung on and missed for strike 1 to Justin Medlin. So a big time base hit there by LeBryant Sedale, and we're tied at 2. Medlin struck out swinging in his first at bat. And he takes a look at that pitch on that outside corner. 0-2 now is the count to Justin Medlin. So Medlin will have to choke up a little bit and protect the plate. Meridian trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done, but the Indians getting it done with 2 outs here. 0-2 is the count to Medlin. Pitch coming. It's up high for a ball. So 1-2 is the count. Not a bad spot to miss that time by Hunter Stanley, especially when you got an aggressive batter at the plate in Justin Medlin. So awaiting the 1-2 offering here. As Stanley taking a lot of time. And Medlin calls time and backs it back out and restarts it here. So Stanley getting roughed up a little bit. Got a quick ground out from Thomas and then a fly ball out to right field by Russell Bunch. And then back-to-back singles by Lancaster, a walk to Neighbors, and then a 2-run single by LeBryant Sedale. And we're tied at 2. This pitch popped up, and it's like it's going to stay in play. The pitcher coming over, and now the third baseman calls him off and catches it for the final out of the inning. But the damage was done for the Indians. We're tied at 2. Let's take a break. and hear a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I was looking for a college back in the day, you know, I'm from Amory, Mississippi, just 30 minutes down the road, and I'm a homebody, and I had to commute, and I said, I need to go to a college that's not too far from home. And I heard of ICC. And once I stepped on campus, I knew this is the junior college I need to be at. I didn't think of another college. I said, this is it. When I stepped on campus, the atmosphere, it just was drawn to me, and I felt like this is where I belong. I belong here at Itawamba Community College because at that moment, I knew this is the best junior college on the planet. This is where I need to be. This is where I was planted. And that's why I am what I am today, because of Itawamba Community College.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now for the bottom of the third inning. ICC able to get a pair of runs in the top half of the inning on a big-time clutch two-out hit up the middle by LeBryant Siddell. And so it will be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for Meridian. And this is Mac Pickering to lead things off. Pickering is the second baseman, takes that first pitch for a ball. And that pitch right down the middle on a fastball for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike. This pitch fouled out of play. And now the count goes 1-2. Well, the winner of this game will get the winner between LSU Eunice and Hines. The loser will advance to play the winner between Pearl River and Gulf Coast, as this pitch fouled off, and we'll stay at 1-2. I know that sounds a little odd, but that's the way the brackets are set up. Of course, you can visit Let'sGoICCTV.com, go to the baseball page, and you'll see the bracket there. Will also it's also available on Twitter. That pitch, ooh, good-looking pitch, just a bit too up for the umpire's liking. 2-2 now is the count here to Mac Pickering. So the 2-2 pitch coming, and there's strike 3. Beautiful pitch that time by Hootie to get his third Renaissance Bank strikeout. That's 3 straight Renaissance Bank strikeouts. Or excuse me, that's actually his fourth Renaissance Bank strikeout. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. So now we go back to the top of the lineup where it's Milton Smith. He walked, advanced on a wild pitch, stole a base, and scored a run. As that pitch missing for a ball. Milton, well, to say he's fast would be an understatement. He's quick as a hiccup and a pretty good leadoff batter for this Meridian squad. That pitch missing low and outside. 2-0 now is the count. So 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on here for the Eagles. Showed bunt. Pulls back and took that one for a ball. And now Milton quickly ahead in the count, 3-0. Well, as we said, it's going to be interesting to see how these coaches work their pitchers today. Of course, could be a very long tournament for everybody, and it is hot. As that pitch missing low, and 4 straight pitches, and for the second time, Milton Smith will get the free pass. So now Meridian's got some speed on the bases. And this will bring up Trace Jordan. Jordan, who also walked in his previous at-bat, stole a base, part of a double steal by he and Smith. He also scored on a ground out to second. Thought about the throw to first. Runner got back without an issue. That's one thing you got to do if you're a base runner. You got to know Hunter Neighbors. He can mow you down, as he has thrown out 8 or 9 runners this year. And the snap throw over to first, kind of a half-hearted toss more than a snap throw over to first, as Smith dives back without any issues. That pitch, it's across for a strike. That one looked a little low, but the home plate umpire calls it a strike. 0-2 now is the count here to Trace Jordan. Don't know how many fans are out for Meridian, so in case they're not making the trip, we do welcome you here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And the soft toss over to first just to make sure Smith is staying honest over there. 0-2 is the count to Trace Jordan. Curveball popped up. Got him to chase something well out of the zone that time. First baseman coming over and squeezes it for the putout. Smith unable to advance. So a nice pitch that time by Harding to get the major league pop-up that time, and that goes for the first out of the inning. And now this will be Davis Bradshaw. We talked about in his first at-bat, Davis swinging one of the hottest bats in the state of Mississippi in the JUCO ranks, batting just under 500 coming into this series. He did ground out to second, but he did push across a run in his first at-bat of the day. Once again, the toss over to first. Just a half-hearted toss. And Smith dives back safely. And now the runner goes. The Indians got him in a rundown. Going to have to hurry. The throw is in time. Nicely done there by the Indians. Let's look back at that on the Little Caesars instant replay, as maybe just a little miscommunication as you see the first base coach coming out to actually just want to get the helmet as they caught him stealing. So score that one 1-3-6 on the putout of Smith, and that gets a 3-up, 3-down inning there for the Indians. So we have played 3 here in Eunice, Louisiana. We're tied at 2. We'll take a break and come back with more of Game 1 of the NJCAA Region 23 tournament. 2-2 Itawamba Meridian. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
Hi, I'm Jada Standifer. I am ICC's Most Beautiful 2018, and you're watching Let's Go ICC TV.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the top of the 4th inning. 2-2 is your score here between Meridian and ICC. When we talk about the history of these two programs, of course, Meridian hasn't always been a part of the MACJC. They were part of the Ms. Lou conference that Eunice is in, so there have been some epic battles over the years between Rick Collier's Indians and the Eagles of Meridian. And another one's brewing here. We're in the top of the 4th. 2-2 is your score. This will be Drake Wallace to lead things off, and he takes that first pitch across for a strike. Drake singled but was erased on a Little Caesars double play. That was back in the 2nd inning. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. So 1-1 now is the count here to Wallace. Wallace fouls that one off. And 1-2 now goes the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Drake Wallace, Connor Lewis, and Drew Thomas due up here for the Indians in the top of the fourth. Waiting the 1-2 pitch, and I guess I just saw that one coming beforehand, and now the count, in fact, goes 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs as Wallace is leading us off here in the top of the fourth. 2-2 is your score. This pitch popped a mile high. Second baseman going back in shallow center field and dancing around and finds it. Tell you what, that play was a lot more difficult than it looked, folks, as he was staring straight up into the sun that time. Center fielder did a good job of clearing out, letting him have it once he called it off that time. So the first out of the inning on a pop-up by Wallace to the second baseman. And now this is going to be Connor Lewis. Lewis grounded into a Little Caesars double play in his first at bat, trying to redeem himself here. Takes a look at that first pitch, missing for a ball. Don't know the catcher was necessarily ready for that, as he was still moving to get set up as the ball got on top of him that time. So 1-0 is the count here to Lewis. Batting in that 7th spot, playing shortstop. Looks at that pitch high and inside. 2-0 now is the count here to Connor Lewis. Well, you hear that noise in the background. That's actually the generator for the hospitality tent. Yep, you need any type of fan, anything, to help create a little extra breeze here in the bayou. That pitch. Ooh, nice frame job that time by Parker to get that one back up in the strike zone. 2-1 now is the count. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. This shot fouled back off the netting, and the count now goes 2-2 on Connor Lewis. Remind you, if you have to be away from your computer, you can keep up with ICC athletics updates, including today's game, by following us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. That's at Let's Go ICC on Twitter. Give us a shout out. We'll try to give you a shout out here on the broadcast. That pitch in the dirt for a ball, and now the count goes 3-2. Lee Adams running the Twitter account, also taking photos. You can find those photos on ICCimages.com. That's ICCimages.com. You can get a digital download for only $1. 3-2 pitch coming. Grounder, second baseman, goes over, gets it, tosses it, and is put out. 4-3 for the second out of the inning to retire Connor Lewis. And now this is going to bring up Drew Thomas. Thomas in his first at bat started off the 3rd inning with a ground out to second. The Indians, though, were able to come up with a pair of, or I should say back-to-back 2-out singles and a walk to Hunter Neighbors. And a big-time clutch hit, a 2-out single that pushed across 2 runs by LeBryant Sedale. This pitch hammered but foul, out of play for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count here to Drew Thomas, the DH. Thomas fights that one off, fouls it off as well for 0-2 count. If Thomas were to reach, and it'd be Russell Bunch, the third baseman, on deck for the Indians. Awaiting the 0-2 offering here from Stanley. This pitch fouled back and off the netting, and we'll stay at 0-2. Give a shout out to Coach Russo, watching in support of some of the players from his area. 0-2 is the count. That pitch missing low and outside. Of course, Coach Russo and I go all the way back to my TV7 days, back in his Water Valley, Bruce High School days there in North Mississippi. 1-2 now is the count, 2 outs. This pitch, liner right field, but it's going to drift foul and it's going to get out of play. Good effort out there in right field by Sam McWilliams. Boy, he covered a lot of territory. Got out of your screen there on Let's Go ICCTV.com as it just got over the fence, but boy, oh boy, he nearly made a great play out there in right field. I don't know if you're the pitcher. You take a little extra time to allow him to catch his breath. So 1-2 now is the count. Ball skips across, and a good eye that time by Drew Thomas. He's batting in that 8th spot, DHing here for the Indians in the first game of the tournament, and the first game, obviously, for the Indians here in the Region 23 tournament at LSU Eunice. So 2-2 now is the count here on Thomas. This pitch is ripped, and it's going to go for a base hit, and this is going to go for extra bases, as the left fielder was shading him to the right side, and a big-time clutch double off the bat of Drew Thomas. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay, the first extra base hit of the day, and it came at a big time. You see there the left fielder, not a whole lot of shading him to the left side, and that was a stand-up double off the bat of Drew Thomas, and now this is going to bring up Russell Bunch to the plate. Bunch flew out to right field in his first at bat. The Indians trying to come up with another 2-out hit here. The wind, it's a whipping here in Eunice. Bunch listen to that first pitch outside for a ball. Russell Bunch, as we talked about, 4 for 5 in Game 3 against East Central. Had a big week for the Indians in that best-of-3 series to be able to get here for the region tournament, trying to keep things going. And Bunch with the liner out to center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. It's actually going to get over the head of the center fielder, and that's going to score a run. So a clutch hit there for Russell Bunch. You see it on the Little Caesars instant replay. And the Indians take their first lead of the day at 3-2. Interesting that Smith didn't come up and try to make a play on that one. And that is the 7th hit of the day for the Indians. ICC leads it now 3-0, and we go to the top of the lineup in Kyle Krieger. So Krieger trying to keep things going here with 2 outs in the inning. The Indians coming up with some clutch 2-out hits. All 3 of their runs so far coming with 2 outs in the inning. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Krieger is 1 for 2 on the day, singled, scored a run in his last at bat, grounded out to second in the first at bat of the day for the Indians. So ICC rallies to take their first lead of the day, 3-2. Throw over to first is not in time. I got to give you a lot of credit, folks. There is a lot of fans here in support of the Indians this afternoon. A lot of ICC red. So 1-0 is the count. And this is a rip, but just pulled it foul. Boy, if that one doesn't go foul, the Indians might be flirting with scoring Bunch from first. Instead, probably would have had runners on first and third, maybe even could have went for a double with the speed of Krieger. But instead, an exciting foul ball goes for strike one. 1-1 now is the count. There's a grounder. Second baseman's going to have to come over. Gloves it, throws over in time for the putout to end the inning. 4-3 to retire Krieger. Second time today he's been retired by the second baseman. But the Indians do add a run to take a 3-2 lead here. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning after we take a break and hear from a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I was looking for a college back in the day, I'm from Amory, Mississippi, just 30 minutes down the road, and I'm a homebody, and I had to commute, and I said, I need to go to a college that's not too far from home. And I heard of ICC. And once I stepped on campus, I knew this is the junior college I need to be at. I didn't think of another college. I said, this is it. When I stepped on campus, the atmosphere, it just was drawn to me, and I felt like this is where I belong. I belong here at Itawamba Community College because at that moment, I knew this is the best junior college on the planet. This is where I need to be. This is where I was planted. And that's why I am what I am today, because of Itawamba Community College.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the fourth inning. Still a lot of baseball to be played here as we're scheduled for 9 ICC with a 3-2 lead thanks to an RBI single by Russell Bunch that scored Drew Thomas, who reached on a 2-out double. So the Indians rallied to take the lead the first time this afternoon, and now this is going to be Meridian to the plate. Davis Bradshaw, Sam McWilliams, and Blake Morris is that first pitch to Bradshaw, missing for a ball. Bradshaw grounded out to second, but did push across a run back in the first inning. And that pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Bunt is laid down. Hootie gloves it nicely, trying to sneak the bunt in and record that one 1-3 on the putout. That was a little bit closer than comfort for the Indians that time, as Hootie actually had to spin around and toss that one out. So the surprise bunt did not work that time for Meridian, and now this is going to be Sam McWilliams coming to the plate. McWilliams grounded out to second in his first at bat, but he did have an RBI. So he takes a look at that pitch, all speed, just up for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Well, a warm afternoon here in Eunice. That pitch missing low for a ball. 2-0 goes the count. Conditioning could be a big factor in this tournament. We'll try to find you some temperatures here. How about this, folks? We had that half a second of spring. It says temperatures 93, but feels like 102. I'm going to agree with that 102. On the feels like. Humidity is at 53%. Winds are calm. And I would like to have a little bit more of a breeze. That pitch across for a strike. And 3-1 now is the count here to Sam McWilliams, the right fielder. It's only going to get hotter as we go. It's looking to raise up a couple more degrees as that pitch fouled back, and we'll stay, or excuse me, now it goes to 3-2 on the count here to McWilliams. But once the sun goes down, it's kind of nice. We were out in Lafayette last night, or Lafayette, I should say. You can tell the North Mississippi came out at me that time, calling it Lafayette, but it's Lafayette. And the temperatures, it was actually a pretty nice night to be outside. So once you play in the dark, it's pretty nice at the ballpark. So 3-2 now is the count. There is one out here in the inning. Pitch coming. This is going to be a foul ball out of play. Oh, there's a truck parked out here. Looks like part of the catering for the hospitality tent. And that ball nearly hit the Nissan out there beyond right field. That pitch, an off-speed pitch, fouled off. Looks like it was fouled off the foot of McWilliams that time, as kind of hopped out of the box. Nice battle at the plate, though, here by McWilliams to keep the at-bat alive. One out in the inning. That was after Bradshaw tried to lay down a bunt to use his speed to get over to first. Good job by Hootie defending his position. Zipped the ball quickly over to first base for the out. So now 3-2 is the count. There's a ball four. Thought that was strike three. Good looking pitch by Harding that time. A breaking pitch that was just a bit inside for the umpire's liking. Breaking out a few of the boo birds here in favor of the Indians. And so that'll be a one-out walk issued to McWilliams. And now this is going to be Blake Morris to the plate. Blake struck out swinging to end the first. And he swings on the first pitch, missing for strike one. Houston Harding, 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far in the contest. The Indians would love to find him 5 and 6 to get out of this inning with no damage done. That pitch inside gets away. Runner actually is going to advance. They said it hit him. So actually a hit batsman. So the runner was trying to go to third, but instead will be held up at second. So that was almost a break there for the Indians, even though it does put a runner at first. It was a break for the Indians, because if that was just a wild pitch, then McWilliams, who had pretty good speed and was going on the pitch that time, would have easily ended up at third. So now this is going to be Zach Carter. Carter flew out to right field in his first at bat. The Indians, boy, oh boy, they would love to find a Little Caesars double play here to get out of the inning. So 1 out, runners on first and second. This pitch lifted, foul, out of play for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. Here to Zach Carter, the DH. So waiting the 0-1 offering. Checks the runner at second, and time is taken by Carter at the plate. So 0-1 is the count, as Hootie kind of looks the runner back to second. Indians with a 3-2 lead, but Meridian threatening here in the bottom of the fourth. That pitch just missing inside. 1-1 now is the count. So awaiting the 1-1 offering. Hootie paying a lot of attention to the runner at second, and time is taken. Indians have already picked off one runner today. That was Milton Smith to end the third inning. So for Meridian, you got to keep that in mind. The Indians pretty good at picking off base runners. So that kind of keeps you back a half a step. But Meridian, they do like applying some pressure. They were able to get a double steal back in the first. That did eventually lead to a couple of runs scored after putting runners in scoring position. So with 1 out in the inning, Harding checks the runner at second, now delivers. Big sweeping curveball that hangs up high for a ball. I don't know how well you can see it on your screen, but you can tell it's hot out here. As Houston, you look at his hair when he goes to throw, it is drenched. So 2-1 now is the count here to Carter. And that pitch up high, the snap throw to second. Boy, it would have been in time, but it was drifted up a little bit. So they might have been trying to do a little pitch out to see if the runner was going. And now 3-1 is the count here on Zach Carter. So if you're Hootie, you got to come back and battle here. And right now, if you're Carter, be ready, because you can get a pitch you can groove in this situation and possibly tie up this game. So 3-1 pitch coming. And that's a strike at the knees. Zach Carter shaking his head, not necessarily agreeing with that one. Not enough to show up the umpire, just enough to be like, I don't know about that, ump. As now the count goes 3-2 with 1 out. So awaiting the 3-2 offering here from Harding. Pitch on its way. This one fouled out of play, and we'll do it all over again. Can the Indians find the second out of the inning? Try to get out of this inning with no damage done and hang on to this 3-2 lead. Can Meridian rally to tie the contest after the Indians scored a run in the top of the fourth to take their first lead of the afternoon? Game 1 of the NJCAA Region 23 tournament here at LSU Eunice. 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there by Harding, and that is his 5th of the contest, and that gives him 2 outs in the inning now. And now this will be C.J. Hughes. C.J. struck out looking in his first at-bat of the afternoon, trying to redeem himself here with 2 outs. Runners on first and second, bottom of the fourth. That pitch up high for a ball. Well, one thing you want to do if you're the Indians right now, you want to get the bats back to the plate and see if you can give Harding a rest. This is one thing Meridian's done well here. Stanley was out there for a while in that 3rd and 4th innings. They're able to extend the inning here and give Stanley a bit of a rest in the shade. So you want to try to return serve if you're the Indians. But before you do that, you want to find that 3rd out. That pitch missing outside and high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to C.J. Hughes. C.J. the shortstop for Meridian. There is a cloud that's rolling over the field, giving players a bit of a shade, and Coach Collier wanting to come out to talk to his pitcher. Let's take a timeout, hear words let's hear from Coca-Cola, and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide proper diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your eye appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back as the home plate umpire taking the slow roll to the hill to break up the meeting for the Indians. And now Meridian trying to find a way to push across at least that tying run. There's 2 outs in the inning. 2-0 is the count here on C.J. Hughes. As we talked about, some of the hottest temperatures we've seen the Indians have to play in so far this season, so you got to wonder how the pitchers can battle through all this. 2-0 pitch coming, that one up high for a ball. Now the count goes 3-0. Good eye by C.J. Hughes, and you just saw our sponsor, Cagle Eye Center. You can give them a call at 862-EYES. That's 862-EYES to set up your eye appointment there in Fulton. And that's ball 4. So 4 straight pitches, and that will send C.J. Hughes down to first, and bases will now be loaded for the Eagles, and this is going to be Houston Parker. So bases loaded now. And this is going to be Houston Parker coming to the plate. Houston, the catcher, struck out swinging to end the second. The Indians would love to see a replay of that here to end the 4th. Fastball in the dirt, beautifully blocked up that time by Hunter Neighbors. And now you may be starting to see Hootie run out of a little bit of gas. Bullpen trying to get behind Houston Harding here to help him reach deep and battle through. That pitch missing. And Harding upset on that one vocally, as he was not shouting at, but voicing his opinion on that pitch call. 2-0 now is the count to Parker. And that pitch across for a strike. Looked a little low, maybe a makeup call that time. 2-1 now is the count with 2 outs. Bases loaded here for the Eagles. 2-1 pitch coming. Grounder. Second baseman going to have to hurry, blocks it up. Throw over, not in time, as it pulled the runner off the bag, and now we've got a tie contest. 3-3, and that's going to actually be the first hit of the day for Meridian. So great effort over there at second base by Kyle Krieger. Blocked it up. If he doesn't block it up, that allows 2 runs to score, but instead able to block that one up. Nearly had a chance to get the throw out. A tough play. And the right call on the hit there by the scores box, and now we're tied at 3. This pitch fouled back. And 0-1 is the count. This is Matt Pickering, the number 9 batter, struck out swinging in his first at bat. So the Indians still trying to find the exit. We're tied at 3. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd here for the Eagles as that pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now. Quickly ahead in the count is Harding. So waiting the 0-2 offering here from Houston. And did they go? It said he did. Strike 3. Well, it took an appeal down to the first base umpire, and he called him out, turned his back, and walked out to right field. And so that's going to be a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the 6th of the game for Houston Harding to end the 4th. But Meridian does get a run back on a first hit of the day on a bases loaded single to second. As we'll take a break and be back as we hear a word from Renaissance Bank right here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
This broadcast on letsgoicctv.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to move to the top of the 5th inning. We're tied at 3 after an RBI single by Houston Parker. Scored Sam McWilliams, who walked. It was bases loaded for the Eagles, and the Indians got out of that jam with minimum damage done after a Renaissance Bank strikeout by Houston Harding, his 6th of the game. So for Meridian, it'll be the 2-3-4 bat, or excuse me, actually it'll be the, hold on, having to get myself situated here. It's actually the Indians coming to the plate. I'm used to the Indians being the home team, so that's what I was looking at there. So instead it'd be Jackson Lancaster, Hunter Neighbors, and LeBryant Siddell due up here for the Indians. Hunter Stanley still on the hill here for the Eagles. He has given up 3 runs, all 3 of those earned on 7 hits so far. As Lancaster starting us off here, shows bunt, lays it down, and it's going to be a foul ball. Break for Meridian, as they were not expecting the bunt attempt out of Lancaster. Lancaster singled, scored a run. He also struck out in his first at bat. So 0-1 is the count here. Lancaster waiting the pitch. And a fastball across for a strike. A beautiful pitch out of the hand of Stanley that time. And 0-2 now goes the count here on Lancaster. So Lancaster going to have to choke up on the bat and protect the plate here. 0-2 offering. That pitch fouled off. And we'll stay at 0-2. Lee Adams, Raphael Henry making the trip down here to LSU Eunice. You can find photos from today's game on ICCimages.com. Also highlights on YouTube. As that pitch missing low and outside, 1-2 now goes the count. You can find those highlights on YouTube by searching Let's Go ICC on YouTube. Not only highlights of this game, but highlights from all of the ICC baseball games throughout the season. So 1-2 is the count here to Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster pops this one up, blistered out to center field. Center fielder going back and is able to dance around and find that one. The wind blowing it around a little bit, but a nice job out there in center field by Milton Smith to squeeze that one for the first out of the inning. And now up is going to be Hunter Neighbors. Well, Neighbors is 1-1 on the game with a single. He's also walked, was left stranded in scoring position back in the 3rd inning. So Neighbors trying to stay hot here for the Indians. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 5th. And Neighbors that time totally fooled on the breaking pitch outside. It's now the count 0-1 here on Hunter Neighbors. Oh, a nice pitch, and I think the catcher moving outside actually kind of crossed up the home plate umpire as the catcher was moving to the outside corner, and maybe a little miscue on the pitch call that time, as that went up high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count to Neighbors. And this pitch fouled back off the mask of the catcher, and Hunter, being a catcher as well, leans over and asks Houston Parker, hey, you all right? And he just nodded, and they kind of both shared a laugh. Good times. 1-2 now is the count. 1-2 pitch coming. Grounder, and look what I found. Nice play over there at defending his position that time by Hunter Stanley. And a ground out right back to the pitcher for the second out of the inning, and this is going to bring up LeBryant Siddell. So Siddell coming to the plate. He had a 2-run single back in the third to tie the contest. He's also flew out to center field to end the first. Trying to avoid that here. 2 outs in the inning. We're in the top of the 5th. ICC and Meridian tied at 3. Siddell looks at that pitch. Oh, nice pitch. Just a little too low for the home plate umpire's liking. And I'll say this, the home plate umpire has been pretty consistent so far between the two teams. Nothing really just outlandish as I knock on wood, or actually it's plastic that I just knocked on, but either way. As Siddell looks at that pitch, a beauty for a fastball strike. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians in the top of the 5th. One pitch coming. Breaking pitch that broke just a bit too much. And 2-1 now is the count. Siddell were to reach, and it'll be Justin Medlin at the plate. LB's 1 of 2 with a couple of RBIs. And Siddell fouls that one off, and it's off the top of the head of the catcher for Meridian. That's been the 3rd time a foul ball has hit Houston Parker today, and that one you can tell kind of smarted a little bit as it knocked the mask off of him again. 2nd time that he's had the mask knocked off of him by a foul ball. It's already tough enough with temperatures creeping into the mid-90s, and then getting beat up by foul balls just don't help Houston Parker there. And that pitch just missing as that pitch goes for a ball. 3-2 now is the count. Parker probably like, come on, man, I just took a foul ball off the top of my head. You can't get me out of the inning on that borderline pitch. So 3-2 now is the count, 2 outs. Siddell waiting for it. And that pitch outside gets away, and Siddell's going to jog down to first with the free pass with 2 outs. So the Indians, for the most part today, has been able to do pretty good work with 2 outs in the inning. You look back at the first inning, their first hit of the day came with 2 outs. And then their 2 runs in the third came with 2 outs in the inning. Their 1 run in the fourth also coming with 2 outs in the inning. So the Indians doing some work with 2 outs in the inning. So this is going to be Justin Medlin 0 for 2 on the day. He flew out to third. And this pitch lifted. Right fielder's going to jog in and squeeze it for the putout to end the inning. So reached down for one that time, couldn't come up with anything solid, and the fly ball out to right field will end the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base in the top of the 5th. 3-3 is your score. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Hey Mississippi, let's fill the gap. Did you know Mississippi's community and junior colleges fill the gap between high school and skilled careers? Or that community and junior colleges are also a great value to students? It's true. Not only can they get degrees in these fields, they can actually afford the tuition to get them there. And did you realize that 96% of the state's community and junior college students are Mississippians? Not only that, they tend to stay in the state when they're done with college. And the more students that do so, the more skilled workers we'll have to fill the gap for jobs. And the more people to fill the job gaps, the more money stays in the state. Plus, the value of community and junior colleges in Mississippi is unbeatable. For every dollar the state puts into community and junior colleges, it gets $4.86 back, an almost 5-to-1 return on investment. So, come on, Mississippi. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges. And let's fill the gap.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as now we move to the bottom of the 5th inning, a instant classic as expected when ICC and Meridian gets together. 3-3 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 1, 2, 3 batters due up here for Meridian. Milton Smith, Trace Jordan, and Davis Bradshaw. And that pitch called a strike, and starting to hear some of the Meridian faithful that made it out here to break out some oohs and ahs. It's a curveball missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here to Milton Smith. Well, he has walked twice today. Stole a base, scored a run in the first, was caught trying to steal to end the third. Looks at that pitch, and that one missing low. 2-1 now is the count here to Milton Smith, the center fielder. He made a nice play to start the top part of the fifth inning. Had to dance around a little bit out there in the outfield to retire Jackson Lancaster. And there's going to be a shot up the middle. Second baseman's going to have to hurry. Throw over is not going to be in time, so that's going to be a base hit there for Milton Smith. Just choked up on the bat, got enough of it to power it past the pitcher. And that will be the second hit of the day for the Eagles. A leadoff single there for Smith. A clutch hit there to start the inning for Meridian. And now this is going to bring up Trace Jordan. Jordan 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. He did pop up to first to end the third in his previous at-bat. So now the Indians going over their signal here with the extremely speedy Milton Smith over at first base. So the Indians were able to lull him asleep with a bunch of soft toss over to first as that pitch up high for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. When they lulled him to sleep, they did pick him off 1-3 to 6 on the putout. That first pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. That pitch, a good looking pitch there, just a bit up and outside for the home plate umpire's liking. 2-0 now is the count. So 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, and a runner at first in Milton Smith. 3-3 is your score here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And that's just going to be a half-hearted toss over to first base. Milton getting down, getting dirty as he dove back into first base. 2-0 is the count here to Trace Jordan, the left fielder. And again, the toss over to first, a half-hearted toss. Smith gets back without any issues. You can hear the wind picking up. It's blowing pretty good out to left field, starting to shake the flags a little bit. Fastball missing low. 3-0 now is the count here to Trace Jordan. Good eye by Trace Jordan. Quickly ahead in the count here, so you know the red light will be on for Jordan with his 3-0 offering. And there's a strike. That one paints that outside corner. 3-1 now goes the count here to Trace Jordan. As we said, 0 for 1 on the day. He did walk, steal a base, and score a run back in the first. So awaiting the 3-1 offering. Instead, we get the toss over to first. Well, if you're watching, planning on making your way down here to the ballpark tomorrow for the Indians game, we'll find out what time they play. If it's a daytime game, yeah, you want to bring an umbrella or something, as there's a hard hit line drive out to right field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits now to start the inning here in the bottom of the fifth, and this is going to bring up Davis Bradshaw. So Bradshaw, as we talked about, almost batting .500 coming into this series. We'll dig in and try to regain the lead here for Meridian. They took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first after back-to-back ground outs to the second baseman. That was by Bradshaw and McWilliams, who is on deck. That's a curveball, just missing outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count now. So now you're starting to hear some of the ICC and Meridian fans both chirping about the strike zone here. Bradshaw playing third base this afternoon. Smith is at second. A grounder to the first baseman, steps on the bag. The tag is not in time. Well, a good job that time by the infield umpire to be on top of the call there. It was a bang-bang play, but I do agree that he did not get the tag down in enough time, so the runners do advance on that ground out to the first baseman. So basically that was a sacrifice bunt, or good as a sacrifice bunt by Bradshaw, who is now 0 for 3 on the day, as that put runners at second and third with 1 out in the inning. And this is going to be Sam McWilliams at the plate. McWilliams walked, scored a run back in the fourth to tie the ball game at 3. He's also grounded out to second. That pitch missing on that outside corner. 1-0 now is the count. Well, the Indians do have somebody getting loose in the bullpen right now. As you figure with the heat the way it is, these two pitchers will not be able to go as deep as they normally do. Is that curveball across for a strike? 1-1 now is the count with one out. Runners on second and third. Bottom of the fifth. Score tied at 3. Meridian trying to break up the tie here. The ball is in the dirt. 2-1 now goes the count. Stan Caldwell coming through, getting ready for that Pearl River game against Gulf Coast. That'll be coming up next. Of course, if you would like to watch that game, I believe Gulf Coast will have the broadcast. If not, you can get on the Bengal All Access Network as that pitch fouled off. Of course, you're listening to and watching the Bengals All Access Network here as well. You can just go to the LSU Eunice Athletic website. You'll see Bengals All Access. Click that link. There's a pay-per-view option on there, so you can either pay to watch the entire tournament or the games you would like to watch here from the Region 23 tournament. As the wind really picking up now. Grounder right back to the pitcher up the middle. Couldn't find anything. They're going to try to come home. The throw! In time! Big time play there. As what a play by Krieger. Came home to cut down the run. And we're still tied at 3 with 2 outs now. Big time play there for the Indians. Fielder's choice for McWilliams. As Smith cut down at home plate. And boy, that's got to put a charge in Harding there. After getting the run cut down, the runner does advance to third though, so the Indians can find a way to get out of this inning. Boy, it would be huge. Ground ball, foul ball, strike 1. This is Blake Morris. Morris is 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out swinging to end the first, was hit by a pitch and left in scoring position back in the fourth. So 2 outs now. And the toss over to first. Kind of just a soft toss to make sure the runner wasn't going. And runner's going to go. So that'll be a stolen base for McWilliams to get into scoring position. Indians wasn't really worried about that one, as they do have a runner at third, so really not going to do any issues there. So 0-2 is the count. Ken Harding get his 7th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day to get out of the jam here. That pitch up high, not a bad spot to miss with a 0-2 count. And a good eye that time by Blake Morris. Runners in scoring position, 3-3 is your score. That pitch inside. 2-2 now goes the count. Here on Blake Morris, the first baseman. And no, thought that was strike 3. I think everybody else in the ballpark thought it was strike 3 as well. Morris actually almost started walking away. Instead, that goes up for ball 3. So now 3-2 is the count. 2 outs, runners on second and third. 3-2 pitch coming, and there's strike 3. And boy, Morris was upset with that one. And Morris gave a glare back to the home plate umpire, and Meridian coach is going to come out and talk that one over there. 7 Renaissance Bank strikeouts of the game. We'll take a break as the Meridian coach is going to talk to the home plate umpire here over that one. As we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, as we do have a Choice Pawn position change here for Meridian, as Landon Keller will come in as the new first baseman. It was Blake Morris. He was asked to leave the ball game by one of the umpires after tossing a bat and maybe just having a little bit too much to say after that strike three call. So your new first baseman, if you're scoring at home, number 31, Landon Keller for Meridian. So that may have been the extended discussion between the inning, not the fact that strike three was called, but the fact that he ran, and they wanted to find out why. What a big inning there for the Indians. They were able to get out of that jam with no damage done, thanks to a Renaissance Bank strikeout from Houston Harding, his 7th of the game. For the Indians, it'll be Drake Wallace leading things off. He shows bunt, pulls back, takes it for a strike. Drake Wallace, Connor Lewis, and Drew Thomas all due up here for the Indians in the top of the 6th. This game scheduled for 9 innings. So we're waiting the 0-1 pitch. A pitch up high that time. 1-1 now is the count. Well, as we said, an absolute beautiful day at the ballpark. Could be a little bit cooler for some folks. 1-1 offering coming. And could not find the low fastball. And 1-2 now goes the count here to Drake Wallace. He is 1 of 2 on the afternoon. He singled, but was erased on a Little Caesars double play back in the 2nd. He also popped up to 2nd to start the 4th inning. Curveball just missing. Well, if anything, you got to know that you got a short leash now after one player's been tossed after a strike three was called. As Wallace pops this one straight back out of play over the top of us here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Remind you can find out more about the ICC Foundation by visiting iccms.edu/foundation. Find out how you can contribute through scholarships, building funds, and more. Ground ball to the second baseman. Crosses him up a little bit, but a nice job digging that one out to find it for the putout. 4-3 of Wallace for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. So this is Connor Lewis at the plate now. Well, Connor grounded into a double play started with the second baseman, and then grounded into the second out of the 4th inning on a ground ball to the second baseman. So to say he's going to the right side of the field, that would be what the hitting chart says. At first pitch up high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. The 3 o'clock game coming your way next. It'll be between Pearl River and Gulf Coast. It's that pitch in the dirt for a ball. The winner of that game will await the loser of this game, and the winner of this game will go on to play the winner between LSU Eunice and Hines, which will be the nightcap this afternoon in Eunice. So 2-0 is the count here to Connor Lewis. Lewis fouls that one back. And 2-1 now goes the count here to the shortstop. Breeze blowing. Flags are waving out there in left field. An absolute beautiful setting for baseball here at Bengal Park. And there's a pitch. Anthony's called a strike. Keeps up the count now at 2-2. There is kind of a seating area. Looks like some picnic tables out there in the left field lounge. a few people out there probably working on their tan this afternoon. In Eunice, 2-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike three. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Hunter Stanley. That is Stanley's third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for the second out. Now this is going to bring up Drew Thomas. Drew doubled with 2 outs, and his last at-bat did come around to score on a single by Russell Bunch to give the Indians the 3-2 lead. As that breaking pitch just outside for a ball. Stanley kind of throwing his hands up, asking where that one was. So the Indians have been pretty good with 2 outs today. Just unfortunately can't get anything on base to do a whole lot of damage when they've been able to get some 2-out hits. As this pitch fouled back out of play, and we'll go to 1-1 now. Well, Brad Boggs adopts the theory of suns out, guns out, as he has his sleeves rolled up here at the ballpark. 1-1 is the count. As that pitch up high, 2-1 now goes the count. Of course, Dr. Brad Boggs and Dr. Jay Allen making the trip down here to support the Indians. A great crowd out to support ICC in the first day of the region tournament here at Eunice. It's about an hour and a half maybe from Baton Rouge. As 2-1 now is the count with 2 outs. And there's a shot right back up the middle. Nicely done there by Drew Thomas. His second hit of the day, and it comes with 2 outs. Take a look at that one back on the Little Caesars instant replay. Return to center up the middle and a 2-out base hit, and this will bring up Russell Bunch, the number 9 batter. And looks like we may be having a pitching change here as the coach is wanting to come out and talk to his pitcher. We talked about temperatures creeping into the mid-90s. So these pitchers could easily fade away, and they are going to make a pitching change. So with a pitching change coming up here, we'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Well, my name is Alyssa Lipsy, and I really enjoyed coming here because I was financially stable. That was the biggest thing. And then I was close to home, so I wasn't too far from my family. I was in Pontotoc County, so I had that guaranteed tuition. But they offer so many more scholarships, like there's ACT scholarships. I had gotten one because I had a high enough ACT. I was involved in Indian delegation, so that gave me a scholarship. And when I came to ICC, I had support from beginning to end, before orientation up until graduation. It was amazing. I just had that one-on-one with everyone I was involved with and everything I did. And I don't know, it just made me a better Alyssa coming here. I go to Ole Miss without paying a dime out of my pocket just because all the stuff I did here at ICC and all the stuff I got involved in and making connections with my teachers as well as the students that were here and just being open-minded to change. And I mean, I'm not having to owe anybody any money to go to school, so that's pretty amazing. And ICC was able to do that for me in the long run.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. New pitcher in the game here for Meridian is Tyler Lance. Take a look at some stats on Tyler Lance. 2-1 on the year with 2 saves. He's pitched 18 1/3 innings. He has given up 16 hits, 7 runs, 4 of those earned. He has walked 5 and struck out 19. He has a 1.96 ERA for the Eagles. We're going to take a break and hear a word from Sonic as those Sonic stats being brought to you, obviously, by the Sonic in Fulton.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on. For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Tyler Lance taking his final warm-up tosses here in the top of the fifth with 2 outs. Real quick before we get back to action, a shout-out to the ICC Campus Police watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Appreciate everything they do for us over there. Not only in Fulton, Tupelo, and all of our campuses. Doing a great job for us there. They're hoping to see the Indians pull off a big win here. Russell Bunch now with 2 outs in the inning and a runner at first. Takes a look at the first pitch from Lance as a strike. Bunch did have an RBI single with 2 outs in his last at-bat. Flew out to right in his first at-bat of the day, so he is 1 of 2 on the afternoon. Bunch, a little grounder. Third baseman comes up, scoops it, and the throw over is in time for the putout. Nice little breaking pitch that time to get Bunch to reach one and a ground out to third base to end the inning. So the Indians cannot get anything going there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-3 is your score. ICC and Meridian tied. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now as we get set to move to the bottom of the 6th inning, Meridian is the home team. So they will have the at-bat coming here. And this is going to be Zach Carter, C.J. Hughes, and Houston Parker scheduled up here. And this first pitch lifted. Left fielder LeBryant Siddell will drift over and makes the play about 10 yards in front of the warning track. Boy, if that wind that was blowing earlier would have got a hold of that one, Zach Carter could have done some damage with that at bat. Instead, it just goes for a fly ball for the out. Well, this ballpark looks humongous because you don't have much of a backstop to kind of draw your eyes to. Now, they did have these trees that actually weren't here whenever we were here in 2012 as that pitch across for a strike. So that does break it up a little bit. It plays 320 down the line, 385 on the center field wall. So you're thinking about 365 to the gap. There's going to be a ground ball. Backhand grab by Bunch. Throw over is dug up and good. So a nice play there by Russell Bunch to get the second out of the inning and quickly 2 away here. And this will be Houston Parker coming to the plate. Boy, if you're Hootie right now, you love it. Almost a 3-up, 3-down inning so far. If you can get a quick 3-up, 3-down inning here, and when I say quick, almost less than 5 pitches, that could buy you another inning here from Houston Harding. That pitch just missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count. So winning the 1-0 offering. Curveball is a beauty for a strike. 1-1 now goes the count here to Houston Parker, the catcher. Well, for Houston Parker, one thing you want to do, you want to try to extend this inning so he can get a little bit more of a break. And this is a shot but foul out of play. He took 2 foul balls off the helmet in that previous inning. And one of them knocked the mask off of him. So 1-2 now is the count. Can Hootie find his 8th strikeout? No, that one missing for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Harding still on the hill here for the Indians. Pitch coming. Grounder, high hopper. Third baseman gets it. Throw over is in time. So the quick 3-up, 3-down inning. That's just what the Indians needed there. As Houston Harding and the Indian defense welcomed by a fired up dugout for the Indians. We've played 6. We're tied at 3. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
I'm Dr. Laurie Kegel of Kegel Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide proper diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your eye appointment today at Kegel Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Kyle Krieger will lead off the top of the 7th. Swings the first pitch he sees. High fly ball to center field. Center fielder drifting back and will squeeze it for a routine fly ball out there to center field by Kyle Krieger. 3rd time he's been retired today. And so 1 pitch, 1 out. We talked about Hootie getting that 3-up, 3-down inning on I'd say probably about 7 pitches. And so Meridian looking to return serve here. This is going to be the number 2 batter now, Jackson Lancaster at the plate. This is Tyler Lance on the hill here. He replaced Hunter Stanley. There's a rip. Second baseman gets it. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And a very effective trip to the hill this inning for Lance as that pitch goes for a ground out. 4-3 for those of you that might be scoring at home. So now this is going to be Hunter Neighbors. Neighbors on the afternoon, 1 of 2. He does have a walk. Was left stranded in scoring position back in the 3rd. Neighbors looks at that first pitch in there for a strike. So 0-1 is the count. Neighbors pops this one up. It's going to get out of play. It's fouled off over towards some of the ICC faithful standing in the grandstands. They've been there since the game, before the game started. So good crowd of ICC faithful out today. 0-2 pitch coming. Neighbors thought about going for one in the dirt. The ball is behind the catcher. And they're going to appeal down to first, and they're going to say he did not go. Probably one of those they took so long to appeal down to first that if he did go, the first base umpire probably forgot. There's a little confusion after the ball got away that time. So 1-2 now is the count here to Hunter Neighbors. Neighbors says he goes from the home plate umpire, and that's strike 3. So a quick 3-up, 3-down inning there for the Indians. And so Meridian returns serve in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-3 is your score. 9-inning contest here from Eunice. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
That is, for me, one of the greatest attributes about ICC, because it was challenging. It's still challenging in the classroom, but the classes are small enough where you know the teacher by name, the teacher knows you by name, and you're not just another number. The teachers you can talk to them, and they know you, and they know kind of what your needs are, where you struggle in class, where you excel in class, and they give you office hours, and you can go by at any point in time. And I know I had a friend at one point, and her grandmother had passed away, and she had a test the next morning, and the teacher said, well, meet me up here at 9 o'clock at night. And that's just something that you get at ICC that you won't get anywhere else.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now to move to the bottom of the 7th inning. If you're just now joining us, aren't familiar with the MACJC NJCAA playoffs, this game is scheduled for 9 innings. And this one far from over. 3-3 is your score. Meridian and ICC, Meridian being the higher seed, they are the home team, as that's a curveball missing low for ball 1. What about Houston Harding, folks? He is dealing here in the bottom of the 7th. Temperatures mid-90s. Fastball across for a strike. The heat index, or the feels like temperature, is north of 100. Right about that 105-degree temperature mark is what this feels like. Fastball across for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. Saw Kyle Krieger getting loose between innings. He's playing second base right now as we get deeper into the contest. Swinging strike 3. Well, Hootie, man, I have been so impressed by this kid all season. You think just as he's about to be out of gas, he seems to get stronger and stronger and stronger, as that was his 8th Renaissance Bank strikeout. And those were 3 fastballs that he had zipping at the plate. As now we go back to the top of the lineup for the Indians, and this is going to be Milton Smith. Smith shows bunt, takes that one for a strike. Milton singled in his previous at-bat. What a big-time play it was at second base by Kyle Krieger to cut him down for the second out of the inning, trying to score from third. And that pitch across for a strike, and 0-2 now, quickly ahead in the count, is Hootie. If he doesn't cut that run down, Meridian has a 1-run lead. Instead, now we're tied at 3. Sets up on the outside, that pitch high and outside. 1-2 now is the count. Gulf Coast and Pearl River coming up next. Pearl River, the number 2 seed in the tournament. They'll take on Gulf Coast, as the loser of this game will play the winner of the Pearl River and Gulf Coast game. The winner of this game will go on to play the winner between LSU Eunice and Hines. That'll be in the nightcap. That pitch up high, couldn't get him to chase one. 2-2 now is the count. Well, as we said, if you're planning on making the trip down here tomorrow, or maybe on your way down to Eunice now, if you're in a vehicle or if you're at your house, enjoy that air conditioner, as it is burning up here. And this pitch popped up. Trouble. Instead, though, Kyle Krieger goes back and gets it. Didn't know if Kyle Krieger found the ball, but he did a great job of just not worrying about the ball, but sprinting back to get in position. Looked up, found the ball for out number 2. And so now with 2 away, this will be Trace Jordan coming to the plate. Trace had a single, but was left stranded in scoring position in his previous at-bat. He's also popped up to first and walked, stole the base, and scored a run back in the first. That pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count here to Trace Jordan. And there's a hard shot, and it's off the leg of Harding, and that's going to go for an infield single. And, oh, that hurt. You heard the pop all the way up here. And so, obviously, time will be taken as Hootie jumped up quickly. And Coach Collier, you're going to come out and talk to him. He's already given the thumbs up to Coach, saying he's okay. Says it got him on the inner thigh. And so he gives the home plate umpire saying he's okay. Boy, I tell you what, if it hit him where he pointed, that was too close to comfort. And so a 2-out single there. Off the leg of the pitcher, Trace Jordan will reach with 2 outs, and now this will bring up Davis Bradshaw. Well, Davis has been hot hitting coming into this tournament. He's 0 for 3 so far. But you know, a guy like him can break out the hitting sticks at any time. Curveball, off speed, inside for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Bradshaw grounded out to first. Grounded out back to the pitcher and is also grounded out to second. He did have an RBI on that ground out. Pops it up, trouble here. Instead, a nice play. Long running catch out there by the shortstop, as that was Connor Lewis finding an extra gear to chase that one down, and the Indians get out of another inning there. We've played 7 now. We're still tied at 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. This has been an instant classic between Itawamba and Meridian. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
So you took Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price, and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor guy. Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Get a large Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza, pizza.
Did you know your child's eyes can be checked as young as 6 months of age? They do not have to know their letters or even be able to talk in order to receive a comprehensive eye exam. Your eye doctor can tell you many things just by looking at them. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide proper diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your eye appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the top of the 8th inning. This game scheduled for 9. 3-3 is your score. Can the Indians start to string together some hits here and see if they can retake the lead? We'll recap some of the Sonic scoring here this inning, as it's LeBryant Sedale to lead things off. Sedale takes that first pitch outside corner for a strike. Meridian took a 2-0 lead after a back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the first. And it was an RBI ground out to second by Bradshaw and McWilliams to give Meridian the 2-0 lead. This pitch popped a mile high and foul for strike 2. The Indians answered with a pair of runs in the bottom of the third. That was an RBI single by LeBryant Sedale that came with 2 outs in the inning after Krieger and Lancaster both singled with 2 outs in the inning. We were tied at 2. Awaiting this 0-2 pitch here from Lance. And this pitch fouled back out of play. The Indians took their first lead of the contest after a 2-out double by Thomas, followed by a 2-out single right back up the middle by Russell Bunch. ICC led it 3-2, and then Meridian answered with an RBI single by Houston Parker in the bottom of the 4th inning to tie us at 3. And there's strike 3, a beautiful curveball. Gets LeBryant looking. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Lance, and that is his second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Of course, that scoring being brought to you by the Sonic in Fulton. They've got drink specials after 8. Boy, I tell you what, I could take a half cherry, half grape slush right about now here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. That pitch outside for a ball. That's Justin Medlin at the plate. Medlin 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. He's popped up to third and flew out to right in his previous at-bat. So looking for his first hit of the day. And takes a healthy chop at that one, comes up empty, and now behind the count, or excuse me, now the count evens up at 1-1. Medlin playing first base. Drake Wallace on deck for the Indians. This pitch fouled back, out of play. 1-2 now is the count. The first game of the region tournament, two more games to follow. 3 o'clock is scheduled the opening pitch for Pearl River and Gulf Coast. And then 6 o'clock is going to be the opening pitch, as there's going to be a ground ball. It is fair. It is down the line, and this is going to be running room for days here for Medlin. He's looking to second. They're going to wave him. No, they're going to hold him at second. Well, a big-time clutch hit there for Justin Medlin. A hard hit down the line. The first base umpire in perfect position to see that it was a fair ball. And Medlin gets a double with 1 out in the inning. A big-time clutch hit there. So now this is going to bring up Drake Wallace with a runner in scoring position with only 1 out in the inning. That one was hit so hard, really couldn't see it on our Little Caesars instant replay there. So now with 1 out and a runner at second, Drake Wallace at the plate, 1 for 3 on the day. He singled back in the second, was erased on a Little Caesars double play, takes that pitch for a strike. He has popped up to second and grounded out to second in his last at bat. So the Indians trying to get something going here, see if they can spark some runs. First time the Indians have had a runner in scoring position with only 1 out in the inning all afternoon. So 0-1 is the count. Wallace looks at that pitch, and it's a beauty. Good job by Lance to just say, okay, I'm just going to load up and throw him by you here, and he's quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2. Wallace out of Amory, Mississippi. One of the few sophomores on this team trying to spark the bats for the Indians here in the top of the 8th. There's a ground ball, third baseman. Eats him up, but he's able to dig it out of his gut that time, throw it across. Now the run's going to try to advance to second. Instead, it's going to be a double play. Big time play there by Meridian. As again, a double play. So score that one 5-3 to, I believe, 5. And that looks to be a little bit of a miscue there as Coach Collier talking to Medlin after the inning. Boy, a big-time opportunity there for the Indians, but a big-time break for the Eagles. As we stay tied 3-3, we'll move to the bottom of the 8th inning. And it's going to be Houston Harding returning to the hill here for the Indians. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift now to the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-3 is your score. You saw that double play to end the inning. To get the get the Eagles out of the jam. That's one thing the Eagles have done well. They had turned 30 double plays coming into this series, and that was their 32nd of the season. A little off-speed breaking pitch across for a strike out of the hand of Houston Harding. My, oh my. Harding, a warrior here for the Indians. He's in the bottom of the 8th. Ground ball, shortstop. Connor Lewis comes up and charges. And it's going to throw over and not in time. Infield single from the speedy Sam McWilliams, as they had Connor Lewis playing deep in the hole that time. A lot of ground to cover. Couldn't really find the ball out of his glove. And so that will be a leadoff single for McWilliams to start the bottom of the 8th here. And so now this will be number 31, Landon Keller, coming to the plate. He'll be replacing Blake Morris, who was tossed out of the contest after being a little too upset after a strike 3 was called. That was to end the 5th inning. So Keller shows bunt, lays it down nicely, and this is good. Could be an infield single. Great play. Wow, what a play there by Hunter Neighbors. It took a second for the infield umpire to decide what he wanted to call. Look for a second, he might have called him safe, but instead that's going to be a sacrifice bunt on a beautiful play there by Hunter Neighbors. That sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. Follow them on Twitter at ICCBSU. They meet during the school year Monday nights at 7:07. They also meet for lunch on Wednesdays just during E period, or obviously around that 12 o'clock mark. All they ask is you bring $2 and a friend. Hey, don't forget to treat your friend to lunch as well for $2. That's the ICCBSU led by Brother Chris Burrows and company there, on the oldest organization on campus at ICC. So the go-ahead run is now at second base with 1 out after that sacrifice bunt. And this is going to be Zach Carter at the plate. Carter 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ground ball, second baseman. Only 1 play, and that's going to be over to first. The runner does advance to third, so now there's 2 outs in the inning. Can the Indians find a way to get out of this inning with no damage done and keep this ball game tied at 3 going into the final frame? Can the Eagles come up with a 2-out hit with a runner at third? This is going to be C.J. Hughes, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, and Coach Collier's wanting to come out and talk to his pitcher here. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message. Surrender to the toppings. Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As no change is made, they're going to stay with Houston Harding here with 2 outs. The go-ahead run is at third. That's Sam McWilliams, who reached on an infield single to start the inning. C.J. Hughes, 0 for 2 with a walk. He did strike out back in the second inning, grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. So 0-1 the count, 2 outs, runner at third. Ground ball, and it's going to be a foul ball. And 0-2 now is the count here to C.J. Hughes. Boy, if the Indians can get out of another inning with no damage done, it would be huge. Houston Harding taking his time here, walking around the back of the hill here with a 0-2 count. C.J. Hughes, though, looking for a timely base hit to see if he can give Meridian the 4-3 lead. Awaiting the 0-2 offering. Pitch coming, that one up high. Not a bad spot to miss that time. 1-2 now is the count. Go ahead run now at third base. 2 outs, 1-2 is the count here to C.J. Hughes. And there's strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout for Hootie. That is his 9th of the ball game, and the Indians get out of the jam with no damage done. My, oh my, oh my. We'll take a break. Let's hear from Renaissance Bank. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The winds have shifted. My goodness, look at the flags blowing out there in left field. We actually, some of the fans here from ICC lost a tent down there as the dust storm is being blown up. It's actually, the wind has shifted again. So the wind acting a little crazy as we move here into the top of the ninth inning. Would that be a deciding factor in this contest? What a game this has been. We're tied at 3 as we head to the top of the ninth. For ICC, it'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters due up. Connor Lewis, Drew Thomas, and Russell Bunch. Lance is still on the hill. He entered to replace Hunter Stanley with 2 outs back in the 6th inning. He was able to get a ground out to end the inning, so the Indians have only got 1 hit off Lance so far, and that was a double back in the 8th before a double play got Meridian out of the inning. 3-3 is your score. Top of the ninth we go. That pitch outside for a ball. Well, now the wind's shifting again, blowing dead out to left field. Lewis, that's where he sends one deep, but the center fielder going to come over and make the play. As that one kind of hit hard but died once it got up in the air, so that will be out number 1. Connor Lewis retired for the 4th time today, and now here comes Drew Thomas. Drew Thomas is 2 for 3. He has a single, a double, a run scored. He's also grounded out to second. That was in his first at bat back in the 3rd. Thomas takes one for the team as he is hit by a pitch, and he will head down to first. And now this will bring Russell Bunch to the plate with 1 out in the inning. And we may have a runner coming in this situation. We will, as this is going to be, who is that? Number 2, Kyle Weaver, coming in to run for the DH Thomas. So Kyle Weaver entering to run here for the Indians. 1 out, runner at first after Drew Thomas hit by a pitch, and Weaver entering to run. Top of the ninth, 3-3 is your score. Bunch swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it off for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count here to Russell Bunch. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He does have an RBI single. That was back in the 4th inning where the Indians took the 3-2 lead before Meridian tied it up in the bottom half of the inning at 3-3, and it's been goose eggs ever since. Top of the ninth, 3-3 is your score. Runner at first, Kyle Weaver, toss over there, and he gets back without any issues. So 0-1 is the count here to Bunch. Wind is calm now. Bunch looks at that pitch up high for a ball. So 1-1 now is the count here to Russell Bunch. Kyle Weaver is at first after Drew Thomas was hit by a pitch. 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Toss over to first. Weaver, not with a very big lead, was able to just simply step back on the bag without any issues. So winning the 1-1 offering here to Bunch. And Russell looks at that pitch high. Curveball he just couldn't quite pull the string on. And now 2-1 goes the count here to Bunch. Bunch, number 9 batter, will go back to the top of the lineup in Kyle Krieger, who is 1 for 4 on the day. So waiting the 2-1 offering here. Swung on, missed. Did not get a piece of it, so the runner will able to advance on the pass ball. So the runner, Weaver, over at second now on the pass ball. Bunch a little upset with himself that he couldn't find a piece of that one. And so now a base hit here could score the run for the Indians. The go-ahead run in scoring position. That was the case for Meridian. in the bottom of the 8th. Indians with that case now here in the top of the 9th. 3-3 is your score. Russell Bunch at the plate looking for a base hit. Kyle Weaver at second. 2-2 pitch coming. And Bunch looks at that one go by, and back-to-back pitches getting away from the catcher now. And now the go-ahead run to third. So Bunch trying to take one for the team that time. The catcher couldn't find it. And so now back-to-back pass balls have the count full to Russell Bunch and a runner at third. Big opportunity here for the Indians. 3-3 is your score. Top of the 9th with only one out. Bunch at the plate, awaiting the 3-2 offering here from Lance. Bunch with a flare out to right field. Is it going to be deep enough to score the run? They're going to tag him up from third. The throw home is not in time! The Indians score on the sacrifice fly by Russell Bunch. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. A clutch hit there for Russell Bunch. The Indians take the 4-3 lead. A pretty impressive throw in from right field. And the Indians able to take the 4-3 lead now with 2 outs in the inning. And this is going to be Krieger pops this one up. And it's going to get out of play. The left fielder was giving chase, did not know if it was going to stay in play that time. Boy, what a clutch hit there by Russell Bunch, his second RBI of the day. That scores Kyle Weaver. And I guess you can say just kind of the perfect storm there for the Indians. Pair of pass balls put Weaver over at third base. Weaver's got good speed, was able to tag up, and just would not be denied getting home that time as he dove in safely. A great throw from the right fielder. That was Sam McWilliams. Nearly got him. It was up the line a little bit. And this is going to be a foul ball. 0-2 now is the count. So the Indians now have the 1-run lead here in the top of the 9th. Can they find a way to hold on and pick up the win and advance tomorrow night's game against the winner between Eunice and Hines? 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Not a bad pitch that time. Out of the hand of Lance. Trying to see if you couldn't get him to chase one for a cheap strikeout there. Good eye, though, by Krieger. If Krieger were to reach, then it would be Jackson Lancaster due up for the Indians. So awaiting the 1-2 pitch here from Lance. Krieger reaches down, grounder to the third baseman. He's got a long throw and gets it out. So a nice job there retiring the final out. 5-3 for those of you that are scoring at home. But what a big-time clutch hit there by Russell Bunch to push the go-ahead run across for the Indians. We'll look at the Little Caesars instant replay here as ICC takes a 4-3 lead over Meridian. We head to the bottom of the 9th, where to be the 8-9-1 batters due up for the Eagles. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now, as we do have a Choice Pawn pitching change as well as a Choice Pawn position change here for the Indians. Pitching now for ICC is going to be number 20. That's Kyle Krieger coming in to pitch. So Krieger will take over, looking to pick up the save here. So he's coming in to pitch in the top of the ninth. Moving to second is Braden Ellis, replacing Krieger at second base. So the Indians 3 outs away from picking up an exciting win here in the first game of the Region 23 tournament. ICC leads it 4-3. And this is going to be the 8-9-1 batters due up. Houston Parker, Matt Pickering, and Milton Smith. So not the heart of the lineup, but could easily get to it here in the bottom of the ninth. Meridian is the home team, so they will have the home team advantage here. And this is going to be a hit and trouble, drifting foul. Well, that one there for a second thought might have enough in it to stay fair, but instead a long strike from Houston Parker. Parker is 1 for 3 on the day. He does have an RBI single. That was back in the fourth to tie the contest. He struck out swinging in to end the second, grounded out to third to end the sixth. And he's leading things off here in the bottom of the ninth. 4-3 ICC with the lead. That pitch, good looking pitch, just a little too up for the umpire's liking. Krieger taking over after a beautiful, beautiful 8-inning performance by Houston Harding. And that pitch up high, 2-1 now is the count. Well, right now, if you're Krieger, take a deep breath. Settle in here. I know your adrenaline's pumping in a big-time situation here for the Indians in the bottom of the ninth. 4-3 is the score. 2-1 pitch, and that one's up. 3-1 is the count. The Indians do have what looks to be maybe, is that Sam warming up? Is that pitch across for a strike? Yeah, that is Sam Harrington getting loose in the bullpen in case he is needed, but a good job by Krieger to come back and throw that one across. 3-2 pitch coming, and this one popped up and out of play, and we'll stay at 3-2. Well, high drama here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 4-3 is your score. Indians with the lead. 3-2 pitch coming. Ground ball, slow roller to the third baseman, gets it, throws over in time for the first out. Nicely done by Russell Bunch for out number 1. That was a tough play as that ball kind of got in the grass and decided to slowly roll over to third base. Bunch makes the throw, a little bit of a stretch over there at first base by Justin Medlin to get the first out of the inning. So this will be Matt Pickering coming to the plate. Mac Pickering. He's 0 for 3 on the day with 3 strikeouts. Pickering looks at that first pitch, a fastball across for strike 1. So 1 out, bottom of the ninth. ICC with a 4-3 lead. Pitch coming. Outside corner, just missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Well, Gulf Coast and Pearl River, they're due up next. That game at 3 o'clock. Indians trying to make sure they stay close to that 3 o'clock start. Good looking pitch there. And Krieger just can't get that outside corner now from the home plate umpire. Painted that pitch, back-to-back pitches, but both of them called a ball. 2-1 now is the count here to Pickering. So winning the 2-1 offering here. And finally, the umpire gives him that pitch. Krieger kind of shaking his head, gives him a thumb up as 2-2 now is the count. That one looked to be a little bit further outside than the last two. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch coming. In the dirt, 3-2 now goes the count. We'll have an abbreviated version of the Renaissance Bank postgame report coming your way here on Let's Go ICC TV as we will break away and try to get out of the way of our friends from Gulf Coast as soon as possible. 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Krieger. And now the Indians 1 out away from moving on to the winner's bracket. And this will be Milton Smith. Well, Smith, this is the guy you want at the plate right now if you're Meridian. Takes a look at that first pitch for a strike. He has got plenty of speed. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's walked twice, has scored a run, and he popped up to second in his previous at-bat. Swung on and missed there. Krieger just cruises that one right past him. 0-2 now is the count. Can the Indians close the door on the rally here? Can Krieger get the save? 0-2 pitch coming. Strike three, and the Indians win it. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there on the corner gets Smith looking. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts, and what a fun game this one has been. ICC wins it 4-3 in dramatic fashion. A sacrifice fly by Russell Bunch in the top of the ninth scores the eventual game-winning run. Back-to-back strikeouts gets a 3-up, 3-down inning there for the Indians as they win it 4-3 over Meridian in the first game of the NJCAA Region Tournament. We got to name our Legend Sports Grills Legends of the game, and yes, I said that plural because I'm handing out 3. I don't like to do this. I usually go 2 max, but I got to hand out 3 in this one. That's going to be Houston Harding for pitching an absolute gem in 100-plus degree temperature feeling, I guess you say. It got up to the mid-90s, but it was 103, 104 on the heat index. He gets the win. Then it was Russell Bunch who had the game-winning hit on a sacrifice fly to score Kyle Weaver. And then I'm going to throw in Kyle Krieger as well, coming in, getting back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts to get the save and punch the Indians' tickets to tomorrow night's game in the winner's bracket. They'll take on the winner between LSU Eunice and Hines here in the nightcap. As Meridian, they will move now into tomorrow's 3 o'clock game against the winner between Pearl River and Gulf Coast. ICC will play at 6 o'clock, as I mentioned, between the winner between LSU Eunice and Hines. Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast here. We do appreciate everyone tuning in. Boy, oh boy, you got your money's worth this afternoon here in Eunice. We'll be back tomorrow night with Game 2 of the winner's bracket between ICC and the winner between Eunice and Hines. That'll be coming your way at 6 o'clock right here on ICC. Let's go ICCTV.com and the Bengal All Access. You can find that on LSU Eunice athletic page. ICC wins it 4-3 here in the first game of the day. This has been Adam Gore for Raphael Henry and Lee Adams. We'll see you tomorrow night right back here on Let's Go ICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.